and welcome to this short overview of the Curiosity Circles that I am running with Bristol and Beyond Stronger Practice Hubs, where we will be unpicking neurodiversity informed practice. This short overview is aimed to give you a bit of an introduction and insight into who I am and why I'm running the circles, and what you can expect when you join these sessions to develop, to unpick and unpack your inclusive practice. So I will start with an introduction. My name is Kerry Murphy and I am an early childhood specialist, and I also focus on promoting neurodiversity, neurodivergence and disability. I myself am neurodivergent, I am autistic and ADHD, and I draw upon this to highlight the importance of sharing lived experience. My day job is lecturing. I currently work at Goldsmiths University in London, teaching on the undergrad, postgrad and PGCE programmes. And I am also an author, writer and trainer, so I have written a number of books related to inclusion, including 50 fantastic ideas for supporting neurodiversity in the early years, which was written as part of Bloomsbury Fantastic Ideas series. I'm also a doctoral student studying play and neurodiversity, so really looking at the pathologization of neurodivergent and disabled play, and this idea that play does not come naturally to children with developmental differences, and kind of challenging that idea. As an autistic person, I come with lots of special interests, which you can see on the slide here. And if you want to know more about me, you can visit my website, eyfsforme.com. Follow me on Instagram, which is at eyfsforme, or you can email me if you have any queries related to these curiosity circles. So why are we doing the curiosity circles? Why am I working with Bristol to develop these sessions? I delivered a keynote in Bristol a few months ago, back in, can't quite remember, but a few months ago, I delivered sessions for Bristol around neurodiversity in relation to the Stronger Practice Hubs. And something that emerged during that keynote is that the world of inclusion and the world of special educational needs and disability, it's often quite complex, it's often multi-layered, there is a lot of jargon, there's a lot of things to wade through when you are developing inclusive practice, and we exist within a sector that is not without its challenges. We know that there are obstacles to inclusion that we need to address, and one of the emerging themes at this keynote is that Bristol educators and practitioners wanted time to really unpick different aspects of their inclusive practice and think about how this intersects and interacts with the paradigm and movement of neurodiversity. So neurodiversity, in its most simple terms, is the acknowledgement that all humans are unique and we have a unique neurological and body blueprint. So the way that we develop differs essentially. And whilst many people follow a typically developing trajectory, many of us diverge from that typically developing trajectory. So we might identify as being ADHD or dyslexic. We might have mental health or mental illness experiences. We might have a physical disability. And so it's recognizing that actually all bodies and minds are valid, all bodies and minds should be embraced, and neurodiversity is about acknowledging that difference as something that needs to be understood rather than fixed or corrected or cured. The journey of neurodiversity itself, though, is quite tricky, and there's lots to learn, and it often feels like on top of everything else that you have to do as an early years educator, incorporating neurodiversity informed practice can feel quite the challenge. And so across these curiosity circles, we're wanting to help you to move beyond perhaps your comfort zone when we think about SEND and inclusion, and starting to really think about your curiosities around neurodiversity, about your learning, and how we can collectively grow as a sector to really unpick and challenge some of the obstacles that we are facing. In terms of what we cover across these curiosity circles, there are some intersecting topics that we will touch upon. So we will be holding at the centre of these conversations the notion of ableism within our everyday practice. And ableism refers to a favouring of typically developing minds and non-disabled bodies. So it's the idea that our society, including our education system, is designed so that it favors a particular type of mind and body, and anybody who falls outside of that is othered, excluded, and struggles for belonging and access. So we really think about what does that look like in an early childhood setting, and how might we as educators begin to unpick that. We also address collaborative support. So neurodiversity is about community. It is about being by each other's sides. It's about collective action. And so we think about the different collectives that we will see within early education. For example, the work that you will do with parents and families, the work that you will do with other specialists. So how do we really build that collaborative culture that helps all children to thrive? And then finally, we will be touching upon divergent pathways of development. And this is where we unpick the fact that most of what we're taught about when we are qualifying to be early years educators is descriptions of typical child development. So we are taught about milestones, neuronormative milestones. We're taught that all children should generally follow the same developmental pathway. We're primed to believe that if a child doesn't follow a typically developing pathway, then that must be a red flag that must be corrected or fixed. And so the curiosity circles is actually an opportunity for us to think, what is out there in terms of developmental diversity? What child development theory might we not be yet aware of? And how can we build that into our practice? So we'll be drawing upon neurodivergent-led theory for this and thinking about how we can really build that into our child development knowledge. So just to summarise, it's an opportunity for us to come together and to share our own experiences as educators. It is essentially to engage in action learning. So the curiosity circles are not just about me talking at you, and it's about me hearing from you as well, and about us collectively working together to think about how do we create spaces where neurodiversity affirming practice can be promoted. And it's an opportunity for you to share the innovative practice that you are engaging in, or for you to ask for ideas about developing innovative practices. It's about us leaning upon each other to really promote a greater shift towards inclusion. Just to give you a bit of an overview of the structure, so prior to the session, you will be given a pre-read or a pre-watch. So in this session, you've got this video to just give you an overview and a bite-sized intro to the topics that are covered. You will be given provocational questions on the session or at the session that we will unpick. So they will be given to guide our curiosities, and we will engage in a discussion. And then at the end of the circle, we set some actions as a collective, but we also think about our individual actions as well. I really look forward to seeing you at the Curiosity Circle, and I'm really excited to learn alongside you.